I'm Michaela. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing something very exciting, and that is repotting, air layering, and cutting up my Monstera Albo. And we're also going to be doing some chit-chatting about plant prices and price shaming, etc. So stick around. I will say there's quite a bit of change in like the video quality as well as the room that I'm doing this in. There were 2 months elapsed between the time that I started the video and finished it today, so a lot changed in the meantime, and yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. I've become a lot more comfortable talking to myself throughout the video. So I've noticed that it's starting to get a lot of browning on the leaves, which isn't my favorite, but it is just kind of part of this plant, I'm afraid. And the soil is just drying out really quickly, and it's been in this pot for a really long time. So today we're going to repot it, and it's a little bit nerve-wracking because this is such an expensive plant. So I'm just gonna get into it very carefully. Yeah, I can see a lot of aerial roots or just roots in the bottom of this pot, so I think this is probably long overdue. So something that I wanted to try and talk about while I'm doing this is price shaming and houseplant prices now. And I know they are going down, and I think that's great. I hear a lot of people talking about price shaming, and it seems like it's a big issue. But what I wanted to get into was kind of I don't know, what am I trying to say? Something that doesn't get talked about a lot is like the people, and I know these are mostly happening in Facebook groups, so that's not always the best representation of people. But anyway, I'm talking about the people who are talking about a specific plant and what the price is, and then it seems like you usually see a lot of people under that saying, oh, I would never spend more than $40 on a plant. I would never spend this much, that much on a plant, which is fine. I think it's great to set a budget and set limits for yourself, but I also don't really like when people say things like that, because I mean, finances and money are all relative. Like, what may seem like a lot to me may not seem like a lot to you. So it really is up to an individual's discretion. And I know people have said things like, oh, you may not know what a good price is if people don't say that, but here's my 2 cents. And I think it could be something of an unconventional opinion, and that is, if a plant is worth it to you, and you think it's a good price, whether or not the general public would think it's a good idea to spend that much money on a plant, it's your decision. Like, it's your money, you earned it, and you should be able to spend it how you want to. So like this plant, as I'm sure you can imagine, was very expensive. But it was something I had thought about buying for a long time. So I was saving up for it. I was waiting for the right plant, and I feel like I found it. It was a larger established plant, it wasn't a cutting, didn't have a lot of sectorial variegation, and it was local, and I knew the seller. So, and I'm not even going to say how much I spent on it, but what I'm trying to say is it was worth it to me at the time. I didn't go into debt buying a plant, which seems odd, but I think people do it. I'd been saving for it, I had the money, and I just so happened to purchase it right before a really stressful time in my life. So every time I would look at this plant or it would get a new leaf, it would just bring me so much joy in the midst of me going through a really stressful time. So even though it was a lot of money, like, it was so worth it to me to have something that I loved and was able to watch grow, and it was just kind of an escape from that difficult time. So, I mean, take from that what you will. I'm just really trying to say, like, don't let anybody tell you how to live your life as it pertains to plants or anything else. So that's that. I mean, it kind of sounds silly, but I just hate seeing people try to tell other people what to do because everything is so relative. Okay, so I've mixed up soil prior to this. It's nothing special. It's just garden variety chunky soil. And I'm just going to be potting it in this little bit bigger pot, and I'm going to begin air layering it. Trying to air layer this. And air layering is not something I have a ton of experience with, but I do want to try to propagate this plant, and that seems less risky than just taking a cutting. So I'm gonna try it, and I have a system in my head that may or may not work. We'll see how it goes. So I have some sphagnum moss, and I soaked it in Super Thrive. So I thought I would try and use these little cups instead of just saran wrap, but I don't know how that's gonna go. All right, so I'm beginning to think this is not the best idea. I don't know if you can tell what I'm thinking here. It would help if I got the actual root in there. There we go. Okay, so we're back here with this that I've been air layering, and it seems to be going pretty well from what I can see. So I'm gonna bust into these little cups here and see what is happening before I actually start cutting the plant. Before I do that, when I was repotting, I was doing some talking about plant prices, and I don't know if what I said actually made any sense. I think it was actually the very first video that I started filming and probably will keep. Yeah, I think it was. But anyway, I talked a little bit about plant prices because at that time, like, there was some major price shaming going on, and which I get. Like, be practical about your plant purchases. Don't put yourself in a bad situation buying plants. And that's really, I mean, people definitely do that, and I'm not encouraging that. What I'm saying is, like, don't let the fact that other people think plants are too expensive keep you from enjoying the hobby the way that you want to. So like this plant, this is definitely more than most people probably spend on a plant, and that's fine, and I realize that. However, I'm so glad that I did it because I found it right before what was a very, very stressful time in my life, and it provided an excellent distraction from that for me. Like, every time I would look at this plant or it would get a new leaf, I was really happy and I could forget what was actually going on. Not that, I mean, I know I need to work through my issues, and that is something that I'm working on doing. However, plants have been instrumental in me getting to a better place with my mental health and my life. So I don't know, having a plant like this, it was definitely worth the money for me. So just be practical and don't let anybody control how you do things. Like, it's your money. Oh, there's a fungus gnat. You've earned it and you deserve to spend it how you see fit. So I think there's a lot of people who spent a lot of money really quickly on rare plants that they may or may not have even really liked. It was just something a lot of people were doing, and now those people are starting to get burnt out, and that's fine. That's normal. Like, I get plant burnout too, and that's my time to go through and get rid of the plants that I don't like taking care of, or they're just not bringing me any joy. Because that's why we do this, is because it's fun. It's not really about, or for me anyway, it's not really about collecting. It's about trying different ways of propagating plants, different pest control methods, just experimenting in general. That's what is fun about plants, and seeing what works and what doesn't. So I think a lot of people got caught up in the collecting and keeping up with the Joneses. I think a lot of people got caught up in that and are now realizing that. I've been collecting plants for several years now, so this collection that you see was not something that I acquired overnight. It took a lot of time, and I am a lot more thoughtful about plant purchases now that I've gotten into more unusual plants. So what I was trying to say initially is that, like, this plant I love, and it was very expensive, but I don't regret spending the money on it, in addition to I saved for a long time to buy it and I waited to find the right plant. So like if there's a plant that you want, let's say you want something that costs several $100s. If you go out and buy every single dupe for that plant that you can find, and then you end up buying it anyway later on, you're not saving yourself any money, especially if you don't even really want the other plants. So I guess what I'm saying is quality over quantity, and that's not to say that like this is a better quality plant than just the green Monstera deliciosa. I'm just saying that like if you want something, save for it. Don't get caught up in the instant gratification that is the world we live in today. You're on your own journey. You don't need to compare yourself to other people. And if you want something that is expensive, there is no shame in that. That is human nature. Just do what you need to do to get there and don't listen to anybody else. And that goes for more than just plants too. I'm getting wiser and wiser as I keep talking. So anyway, we're gonna bust into these cups here and see what's going on. Dad, if you're watching this, I feel the need to admit that this is not quite the hillbilly solution that I led you to believe that it was. This is a legitimate way of propagating plants, unfortunately. So I'm not as much of a hillbilly as I led you to believe. Okay, so we're gonna have a look at these roots in these cups first. If I can get this off of here. What a strange way to do this. Okay. All right, so this one, I think this one looks good enough for me to feel comfortable, somewhat comfortable anyway, cutting it up. Oh my goodness. Okay, so maybe this was more of a hillbilly solution than I thought, because I don't even know how to get this undone. What? Honestly, what on earth? Yeah, we've got some good rootage. I'm gonna come in here with my phone and show you what they look like. Yeah, cool beans. That one's got a secondary root too. This was the top one. This is the middle one. The bottom one got some pretty good roots. Okay, we're gonna do it. I'm just sterilizing these shears. Okay, so cutting it, I think I'll cut it like right. Well, now I'm freaking out. I'm not someone who's hesitant to cut up plants, but this one, I've air layered it. It'll be okay, I hope. It's just so hard, you know? Maybe I need to charge my camera or something, or switch the laundry. There's probably something more pressing, right? No, just do it. It'll grow back. You've never regretted cutting up a plant before. Okay, here we go. Oh, if I can did it. Well, that's still like a really big plant. Yeah, okay. And I'm going to sterilize in between cuttings on this plant. Oh, fun. Okay, so this top cutting I'm going to be keeping. This is for me. And I'm going to just let these callus for an extra long time, just to be extra sure that it's not going to rot on me, because Monstera are just so prone to rot. To keep these from drying out, I am going to put the roots back in a cup of moss. See, it's not scary to cut up plants. Actually, I misspoke. It is scary to cut up plants. Why isn't this? But, I mean, they grow back. It's not the end of the world. But, I mean, there's people who don't cut up plants ever, and that's fine. Like, those people, those are the people who have the badass plants. Like, I don't know, if you follow me on Instagram, you should go and see the reel I made about my grandma's plant collection. So it's so cool. Like, she has a fiddle leaf fig that is just, oh, it's stunning. It's massive, and it's almost 30 years old. And she said she'll never take cuttings of it, and I absolutely don't blame her. She has more self-control than I do. But yeah, you should definitely go and see that. The thing is like taller than her porch. It's amazing. Okay, I had that in the wrong. So I'm gonna let these callus, and then I will show you what I'm going to be doing with them. So here they are, just callusing over, and I'm gonna just keep checking these throughout the day and see how they're coming along, because I want to make sure that these are definitely well calloused. You're just a little bit closer than I'd like you to be to those plants, Bernadette. You don't care. No, 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 no. Be careful. Okay, so I've let these callus for I think 4 hours, and they do look like they're good and dry. And I wasn't really sure what to put these in, so I had to go to town and look for some containers and went down to the Dollar Tree, and I found these pitchers because some of these aerial roots are actually really long. So I think the top cutting I'll put in one of these, and I'm just gonna put it in sphagnum moss. That is the old tried and true propagation method for me. Oh, see, that's really cute still. Now I have 2 albos. Also, I did not mention this, but I ended up impulsively taking another cutting because I just wanted to see how it goes without air layering it. I'm keeping the stem kind of out of the moss. Found this in my moss. What the heck? We'll just give you a little friend. I want you to be lonely. At farmersonly.com.
You don't have to be lonely at farmersonly.com.
Okay, so I'm gonna water these with some Super Thrive. And I don't want it too damp, but I also don't want it really dry either. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate all of you who keep coming back and liking and commenting on my videos. I really enjoy talking to you. So leave me a comment and let me know what you thought. And also follow me on Instagram because I'm probably going to be giving updates about these guys, and probably going to be looking to sell or trade them as well on there. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon.